Hi everyone, welcome to AMC Movie Talk for movie fans. I'm Suri Serrano, and this is our daily show, catching you up on all the major movie news of the day with insight into what it all means. Joining me, as always, is AMC Movie News Senior Editor John Campea.
Hey, Suri.
Hi, and we're going to get started with this. Earlier this year, a long-awaited sequel to the comedy Anchorman was announced. Today, we finally have the actual release date. On December 20th, 2013, 1 year from today, Anchorman, The Legend Continues, will open in AMC theaters everywhere. John, should we be excited for this one?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Anchorman, look, there's not a lot of movies that I clamor to have a sequel to, that I just die for them to make a sequel to. Anchorman is one of those movies that I have. Now, a lot of people, I have this discussion with people all the time, say Anchorman doesn't need a sequel, the story was done, but Anchorman was never about the story. Anchorman is just about this amazing, eclectic collection of these really ridiculous characters and their interactions together. Ron Burgundy, the Paul Rudd character is great. Steve Carell, a lot of people forget, Steve Carell became a megastar because of Anchorman. His portrayal as Brick is what made him a superstar. Now, a lot of people say, well, it was his very small role in Bruce Almighty that kind of put him on people's radars, and that's true. That's what got him Anchorman, but it's playing Brick in Anchorman that got him everything else. This is a comedy classic. I know not everybody is into Will Ferrell's comedy style. I still think this is Will Ferrell's funniest movie to date. Maybe it's a tie with Step Brothers, I don't know. But yeah, dying to see this. Can't wait. Very excited.
Awesome. All right. Without question, one of the most anticipated films of 2012 was the Ridley Scott film Prometheus. But when it released, it met with some mixed reaction from fans and critics alike. This week, writer Damon Lindelof officially stated that he would not be participating in the Prometheus sequel that Ridley Scott already announced he wants to do. So, John, how will Lindelof leaving affect the sequel and the fans' perception of it?
I think, unfortunately, Prometheus was a film, I, like many people, was really looking forward to Prometheus. Ridley Scott's triumphant return to sci-fi. It's, of course, the Aliens prequel that they never admitted was an Aliens prequel, yeah, but it was an Aliens prequel. But I'm one of the people I was really disappointed with it. I found there were so many logic flaws in this. It's like, wait a minute, the aliens leave a roadmap 20,000 years ago to take us to their secret military installation? Wait a minute, mixing this drop of alien DNA makes this person turn into this, but makes this other person, it was kind of a confounding mess. Now, a lot of people still liked it, but for me, it was a disappointment. And rightly or wrongly, probably more wrongly than rightly, a lot of fans pointed the finger at writer Damon Lindelof, of course, who's most famous for writing Lost. And I think he takes more blame than he should, quite frankly. I think he wrote under the direction of Ridley Scott, who kind of gave him his signposts and where he wanted him to go. But I think some people, much like a professional sports team, they want the coach's head if something goes wrong. I think fans wanted somebody's head. And I think Lindelof kind of said it best himself when he said, I think fanboys are going to be happy to hear that I'm not on the sequel. And it's unfair, but he's probably right. I think fanboys are going to be glad he's not there. Somebody's head kind of had to roll for the shortcomings of Prometheus. And rightly or wrongly, it's going to be Damon Lindelof's.
Okay. All right. Well, next up, YouTube has just released the results of the most downloaded trailers of 2012. The top three are, number 1, The Dark Knight Rises, the third trailer, number 2, Skyfall, and number 3, Ted. John, why were these three the top 3 trailers, and what does that tell us?
I think The Dark Knight Rises, I think they're all in the top 3 for different reasons. I think The Dark Knight Rises is there because The Dark Knight was one of the greatest comic book movies ever made. I don't think it's the best comic book movie ever made, but I think it ranks right up there. It's when the franchise peaked. You had Heath Ledger's The Joker. Everybody loved it, and we're dying for the third. I frankly didn't like the first couple of trailers for The Dark Knight Rises. I actually put out a Facebook comment that got me a lot of heat saying, I think the Twilight trailers are better than the Dark Knight Rises trailers, until the third Dark Knight Rises trailer came. And that trailer was awesome, got everybody really excited, and I think that's why you see that. As far as Skyfall goes, I think you see it at number 2 because Casino Royale made us believe in Bond again. Daniel Craig made us believe in Bond again. And after the disappointment of Quantum of Solace, I think people have been yearning for a return to that Casino Royale quality level of movie. And it's just a great trailer. So there's that. With Ted, it's not like Ted was highly anticipated. It's just funny.
Hilarious.
The trailer by itself is absolutely hilarious. And so I think a lot of people, I know myself, I'm one of these guys who I watched it, but then I sent the trailer to about 20 different people. Like, you got to see this, you got to see this, you got to see this. And you know, I'd be at home and have my Apple TV on. We'd have guests over and I'd say, hey, have you seen the Ted trailer yet? No? Put on the Apple TV and bring up the trailer.
It was amazing.
And so that's why you see that. What does it tell us? I think it tells us that the demand that audiences have for quality trailers, not just a trailer to tell us that a movie's coming, but to put entertainment value in the trailer itself. Because the fact that the Ted trailer was so good is why that movie did so well. And you can't say the same about Dark Knight Rises or Skyfall. That's not why the movie did well, because the trailer was great. But with Ted, the movie did well because the trailer was so good. And I think we're going to see a trend now and a lot more effort being put into these trailers moving forward.
Awesome. All right. On Christmas Day, the new Quentin Tarantino film, Django Unchained, opens in AMC theaters everywhere. The film stars Jamie Foxx, Christoph Waltz, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Samuel L. Jackson. The film is set 2 years before the start of the Civil War and finds Django, played by Foxx, suddenly freed by a bounty hunter, Waltz, and the two embark on a quest to find and save Django's wife. John, you saw Django Unchained. Is this one we should be watching?
I am not somebody who worships at the altar of Quentin Tarantino. I was telling that to Dennis earlier. Frankly, I like a lot of his films, but some of the ones he has put out, I haven't liked all that much. Django Unchained is Quentin Tarantino's best film.
Wow.
This is his absolute best film. This movie is fantastic. Now, you're going to hear a lot of people talking about Leonardo DiCaprio, who is very good in this movie. You're going to hear a lot of people talking about, and deservedly so, about Jamie Foxx, who is very good in this movie. But I'm going to tell you right now, the lifeblood of this movie is Christoph Waltz and Samuel L. Jackson. I mean, they shine. They make this movie so entertaining. It's almost like you could make an argument for this. Jamie Foxx and Leonardo DiCaprio, with their performances and things like that, make the film really good. Christoph Waltz, Samuel L. Jackson make the film really damn entertaining. And you can also say that Christoph Waltz is kind of the same character in this film that he was in Inglourious Basterds. Except he was the light side of the Force version of that character in this, whereas he was the dark side of the Force in Inglourious Basterds. This movie is brilliant. Right now, it's holding a 98% on Rotten Tomatoes. Not an easy feat. 98%. That means 98% of all critics everywhere are saying this is a good movie. And this is in my opinion, this is beyond a great movie. Here's what some of the critics have to say. From the critics who liked it, like Matt Glasby from Total Film. Might be too much and too bloody for certain constitutions, but the rewards are plentiful. Be sure to hunt it down. Marianne Johansson of Flick Philosopher said, a dark fantasia of the pre-Civil War South that is hilarious, ferocious, shocking, and wise, sometimes all at once. Rex Reed from the New York Observer said, let me try Rex Reed again. Rex Reed from the New York Observer said, bold, original, mesmerizing, stylish, and one hell of a piece of entertainment. For the critics who didn't like the film, I'll be honest with you, I could only find one. There's one critic, Cameron Meyer from Orlando Weekly, said, I've always wondered whether Tarantino would finally grow up, but after seeing his latest spectacular, bloody mess of a movie, frankly, I don't give a damn. Now, if you're the type of person who really likes dark humor, witty stuff, hyper-violent action, if you liked Inglourious Basterds, if you are generally a fan of Quentin Tarantino, this is a film you are going to love. However, like some of the critics point out, if you're a person who you're kind of sensitive to really offensive language and really gory violence, if that stuff is uneasy for you to sit through, then Django Unchained may not be for you. So overall, though, I completely love this film. I'm going to recommend people run out and see it.
I know. I can't wait to see it myself. Also opening on Christmas Day is Les Miserables. Set against the backdrop of 19th century France, Les Miserables tells an enthralling story of broken dreams and unrequited love, passion, sacrifice, and redemption, a timeless testament to the survival of the human spirit. Jackman plays ex-prisoner Jean Valjean, hunted for decades by the ruthless policeman Javert, played by Russell Crowe, after he breaks parole. When Valjean agrees to care for factory worker Fantine's Anne Hathaway, young daughter Cosette, their lives change forever. John, does this film live up to the legend of the stage musical?
When I first walked out of Les Mis for the first time, and I got to preface this by saying I'm a fan of the musical. I'm a fan of Les Mis, the musical. When I walked out, but that leaves me wondering when I went into it, it's not going to live up to it. Kind of like people who are a fan of a book. You know, you're a fan of a book and you go and see the movie and you're not it probably won't live up to the book, whatever. I kind of felt that way going into Les Mis. I should point out it's directed by Tom Hooper, who directed the Oscar-winning Best Picture of the Year, The King's Speech. He did a fabulous job with that. I was very curious to see how he'd do with this film. When I first walked out of Les Mis, the one question I was asking everybody, or asking myself, was, where am I going to put this film on the greatest films of all time list? I love this film. I thought this movie captured all the elements of the stage. I'm going to say something really sacrilegious. The movie is better than the stage musical.
Wow.
And the reason it is better than the stage musical is because they captured all the motion and beauty and torment and agony and despair and joy and hope of the stage musical, while at the same time being able to give it a much grander scope because it's a feature film. They're not limited to just a stage. I liked it that much. However, not all critics agree with me. It is holding a positive rating right now on Rotten Tomatoes of 70%, which is great. Here's what some of the critics who like the movie are saying. Marianne Johansson from Flick Philosopher said, "There's an alchemy in Les Miserables that brings together the best of the screen and the best of stage." Richard Roper said, "This is an unforgettable movie-going experience, sure to garner multiple Oscar nominations." Andrew L. Urban of Urban Cinephile said, "Having a cast of superb actors was more important to Hooper than casting a team of great singers. But make no mistake, there isn't a second-grade singer among them." Now, as I mentioned, not all critics loved it. Some of the critics who were more critical of the film had this to say. Michael Phillips of the Chicago Tribune said, "Simply, I didn't like it." Catherine Schroeder of The Guardian said, "By the end, you feel like a piñata on the dance floor. Empty, in bits, the victim of prolonged assault by killer pipes."
Oh my gosh.
Some critics really don't like this film. Some, like myself, are absolutely adoring it. I think Anne Hathaway is an absolute lock for Best Supporting Actress this year. She's going to take home that Oscar. I personally feel that Hugh Jackman playing Jean Valjean should win Best Actor of the Year, even over Daniel Day-Lewis. So, as you can see, the critics are not in agreement with this. Some don't like it. Some do. I highly recommend it, though, because I absolutely loved this movie. But listen, folks, that'll do it for us. That's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for joining us. But listen, before you do anything else, stop for a second. Click the subscribe button to subscribe to our AMC Movie News YouTube channel. It'll keep you up to date. It's completely free on everything going on in the world of movie news, our editorials, and of course, our daily AMC Movie Talk show. While you're at it, make sure to follow us on Twitter by going to twitter.com/AMC Theaters. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/AMC Theaters. And once again, click that subscribe button. And don't forget, folks, the most important thing is jump into the comments section and leave your thoughts. Tell us what you think about any of these topics. I'm in there all the time, and I'm really excited about talking with you guys about the topics and the things you have to say. I want to thank Suri Serrano for joining me.
Thank you. It's been great.
And until next time, my name's John Campia for AMC Movie News. Bye-bye.